Okay, everyone. The battery is probably going to die. I don't know. Hopefully not. Before I get to make this little presentation here, as everyone knows from the post, is that I was having a clunking, knocking noise whenever I turned the wheel to the left or the right, and going slow, going in and out of a parking lot. You know, stuff like that, forward and reverse. And then first it happened every so often. Then it was on the regular. Then the clunk got really loud where it was almost scary, like something was going to break. Then it got to the point that when I stepped on the brakes, it would clunk every time I stepped on the brakes. I would drive, as I slow down and stop, it would clunk. So I went through all of the posts, I did research, searched, and come to find out that one of the people had posted that when you take your car to the alignment shop, they don't tighten the camber bolts correctly, and they come up, they're either too loose or they loosen up. Eventually, that ended up being the problem. I mean, I tightened it, I took care of that today, and it was kind of cold outside. That's one of the things of not having a garage. But I took care of that today, and I took the car for a test drive, and so far, it seemed like that was the problem. This was an ongoing issue for like the last maybe 2 months, but weather conditions were preventing me from working on it because, you know, it was pretty cold out there. But anyway, that noise also brought to light other problems too. And in trying to track down the problem, I ended up fixing other problems that would eventually create a whole new scenario of things. Okay, first of all, here's the inner tie rod. As you can see, the inner tie rod it moves a whole lot, and the boot is not even on there tight. See, as you can see, the boot slides on and off easy, and the thing goes all around. Okay, and secondly, what you probably can't see, the boot has stress cracks around it, and this happens to be a door last inner tie rod, and the way they make it, the boot is supposedly fused or glued or however they do it onto this metal ring right here, this metal shaft right here, and it's not supposed to come off like that. So and I have Moog parts on the vehicle, but what I did was, whenever I have a problem where the Moog is bad and I send the Moog back, I have this as a replacement, and I have a couple of door last parts as a replacement to put in there until I get the Moog parts back, because I bought them from a couple of places, Summit and Rock Auto. So this is so that my vehicle won't be down for any length of time while I'm waiting for the parts to come in the mail, and I really don't want to drive the vehicle and risk having an accident because I couldn't wait for the parts. And I actually do need my vehicle. I use it every day. It's like my daily driver and my foul weather driver. Okay, so this is the inner tie rod. Okay, now on to the lower ball joint. The boot was actually so the boot was compressed to where it showed maybe this much of the shaft. This from here up was exposed. From this part of the shaft up was exposed. So the boot was actually compressed, and it was open where anything can get up in it. The hole, instead of the hole being nice and snug, it was open to where when I shoot the grease in there, it would just ooze all out. So in Moog, they don't replace boots. The ball joint, it is bad because it's loose. I mean, by my terms, it's bad, but I don't know by their terms. But what it is if your boot is torn, ripped, or any kind of way damaged, Moog doesn't, and the ball joint could be in perfectly good condition. They don't replace the boot; they send the whole ball joint. So subsequently, they sent the whole ball joint. What I did was I ordered it from Summit. So they sent me, I had to pay for the replacements, and when I send these back, they'll refund my money. But as you can see, look, it moves around easy. My pinky, just very easy. Very easy. It just wiggles around. Okay, now, this is the new Moog ball joint that they sent me. And I had an extra one, so by the way, I put the extra one I had in. This is the new Moog ball joint. As you can see, it's very hard to move. I can move it, but it's like very hard. It's really stiff. It doesn't move like this. This Very easy. So by my terms, that one is bad. Okay, now on to the next one. Okay, this is the Moog. You probably can't even see the Moog writing on the boot. The Moog outer tie rod. As you can see, the boot, if you can see it, the boot is kind of split. Okay, when I squeeze it like that, you can probably see it come up. The boot is split, so it's really not keeping the grease in. And since I changed the inner, I said I'd change the outer. It's under warranty anyway. And this one also moves. Very easy. And if you can probably hear it, if I can hold it stiff, you can hear the noise. So that's the other tie rod I don't have to show you the stiffness of a brand new one. Okay, and that is the outer tie rod. Okay, and next comes the upper ball joint. This is a Moog ball joint as well. All of these parts are Moog with the exception of this inner tie rod. This right here is a Moog upper ball joint. Now it doesn't move as much. It has a little stiffness to it, but it still has some knocking. So and it moves. It really moves. And so in my opinion, this one is probably bad as well. Even though it may be able to go a little while longer, but I said I'm changing everything. Since I'm changing things, I might as well change that too. Excuse me. Let me wipe my hands off. Okay, and Moog doesn't make the upper ball joint like this anymore. Here's the replacement that they sent me. See, as you notice, it's an accordion style boot, and it has metal rings on the upper portion of the boot and the lower portion of the boot to keep it on snug. I think this is a better design because with this one, the boot doesn't really stay. It moves up and down. The grease oozes out. Contamination can easily get inside. But I think this one is a better design. So since they sent me two for the left and right, because I sent replacing everything, but right now I'm just doing one side because the weather is not permitting me to do both. But I ended up changing the lower ball joint, the inner and outer tie rods, the upper ball joint, and also the CV axle. The CV axle was making a little clunking as well, so I changed that. All of these Moog parts were originally installed on the vehicle in 2004 when I did an overhaul of the front end. So you figure 2004 is 2013. That's not bad. What, 9 years? Almost 9 years out of the Moog parts. It's not bad at all. I wish the mileage could say something, but the mileage, I only got 116,000 miles on my '98 Durango. So as far as the mileage is concerned, that's not a lot of mileage on these parts. I do drive the truck, but with the potholes in New York, it's almost like driving off-road when you drive the truck. Okay, so that's about it. The ball joint, the lower ball joint, upper ball joint, outer tie rod, inner tie rod. And the test drove it today. Everything seems nice and tight. So weather permitting, I will do the other side, and then I will take the sway bar out and grease the sway bar and install it. A couple of people said it was the sway bar, bushings. When I was doing my test drive, the clunk was completely gone. And like I said, the upper control arm, when I put my torque wrench on it, it clicked at 140. So I increased it to 150, turned it a couple of times, then it clicked. I went to 160, turned it a couple of times, then it clicked. Then I went to 165, which the manufacturer's specification is 165 for my 4x4. When it clicked, I increased it to 70, and then I went as high as 180 foot-pounds of torque. So the board is torqued at 180 foot-pounds now. And if it happens, because some people have said that they have a way of working themselves loose, I didn't take it out completely. I just retorqued it. If it happens to work itself loose, then I'll probably put some blue Loctite on there to prevent it from loosening up again. I didn't want to go any higher than that because I felt that was good enough, and I didn't want to risk snapping the bolt for the upper control arm. Okay, that's about it, and I'm gonna take care of all of this, package this one up, package this one up, package this one up to send back. And this one is from this inner tire rod is from Durango. It's AutoZone product. It also has a lifetime warranty. So I'll take it back to them and get another one. I like to keep spare parts around so that you know, when one goes bad, I just change it right away, and that way I don't have my truck down for any period of time. And then I take the other ones back and get it replaced. The CV axle also had a lifetime warranty, so I replaced that, even though the one that was on there was the original factory CV axle. But I had purchased axle prior, and from Rock Auto and from AutoZone, and I just took it back and got a replacement. So all in all, with the exception of the downtime, with the exception of my labor, of me doing the actual work, none of this cost me actually anything. All the parts that I've changed were under lifetime warranty. If it weren't for the looseness in the knuckle, I mean in the upper control arm, I probably would have never really realized this tie rod and these loose ball joints and all this kind of stuff. I had the car last in line in last year, I guess around July. I have the Firestone's lifetime alignment, so I go every year and get it aligned for free. And when I got it aligned, the guy didn't tell me that any of these parts were bad. He said everything was good. But I've learned one thing, is that when I go to get the alignment, like someone has said or posted, was to make sure you check those bolts on that upper control arm, because they don't tighten them enough, and hence you could have knocking. So all of the posts that I have read, everybody said it was the inner, outer tire, upper, lower ball joints, the control arm bushings, all these different things. But one person was right, and it ended up being the upper control arm. That's the good thing about being a member of the forums and sharing ideas, information, and problems, so that when you have a problem with your vehicle, and if you like working on the vehicle yourself, or you just want to know about your vehicle, you'll have the correct information identifying it. Luckily, since all the parts were lifetime warranty, I didn't spend a whole bunch of money trying to track down the problem. Had it would have been the other way around, I would have probably purchased all of these and still wouldn't have had the problem and been out of $300–400. But it wouldn't have been money wasted, because as you can see, most, if not all, of these things are bad. Okay, that's about it. Until next time.